So my name's Kayla. I'm in the other TED class, and I missed it. But I am doing my speech or presentation today on free time in the classroom and how to best utilize it and why it's the best teaching practice. So free time is a word that commonly widens the eyes of children, and a lot of whispering tends to ensue right after that. So students love it. Teachers kind of stay away from it. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. But with this, free time allows teachers to prepare more for another class if they're using time wisely and structured well enough. And a lot of students get that social aspect that they need throughout the long day of classes. If you structure it well, you can use it to specifically be geared towards educational activities. So a lot of students can benefit from it, even if they don't know that they're benefiting from it. So it's a really sneaky tactic that teachers can kind of slide right in there, and students, are still learning a lot. The types of things that you can include in a free time session would include a free read session, so students get to pick their own book, and they're learning that way. You can also include a class art project where students vote on it, so they're coming together and learning how to cooperate properly. And then the last one is using educational geared computer games or exercises, because we're in a world of technology, and if we're going to be honest, students like to play on computers more than they want to learn. So that's another aspect. So we're just going to talk about how you can structure it properly and how students and teachers will both benefit from it if you do it the correct way. So the first one we're going to talk about is the free read time. Have any of you guys went through the DEAR program, drop everything and read, in middle school? I'm seeing head nods, yeah. So I did that as well. When I thought about that, I thought it's a fantastic thing to do. So the drop everything and read time basically means a student gets to choose his or her own book. A lot of teachers should recommend classic literature, otherwise noteworthy or award-winning books, so students kind of get a broader view of what's out there in literature. But it's free time, so students are basically the ones who are allowed to choose what they want to read, otherwise it wouldn't be free time. So being able to sneak this in that way, when you need a little bit extra time, means the student is still benefiting whether or not you teach math. I mean, they're still reading, they're learning grammar, they're learning vocab, so it's a very positive influence on them as well. A lot of teachers recommend that students read versus looking online for things, because today we have a problem with power browsing. Power browsing means students need to research an article, they're looking up the article, well, they can use the Control plus F key, the Command plus F key, to find exactly the phrase or what they're looking for. So it kind of takes away the real reading part, and they're skimming it. And so power browsing is a big problem today, and by allowing students to read during their free time is much more beneficial to them. And the next one I want to talk about is a class art project and why it's really important to students, especially if teachers need to, like I said, maybe take care of some extra grades, or they need to set up for the next class period. At the beginning of the school year or semester, students can come together and they can vote on what type of class art project they want to do, within means, of course. This way it gives the students the choice to voice their opinion, or the chance, to voice their opinion, and they have a lot of say in the project. So it's a really good thing because it involves a lot of cooperation for students and a lot of team building, and all of this is really important in the professional world. So a lot of students need to learn these skills early on in order to be able to develop properly and be placed into the field that they want to be placed into. It's also really good because it fosters their critical and emotional development. Like I said, problem solving, a lot of it goes through art, and no one even knows that. So it's a really nice way for kids to relieve some emotional or social stress or anything they have, because they're working with their hands and they're using their mind. So like I said, whether you're in a math class or whether you're in an English class, an art project is beneficial for everything, especially for the cognitive development of the students. The other really, really important one is includes educational online games or exercises. So I know a lot of teachers try to stray from this because they don't want to just, rent out the computer lab so their students can work on these games, but it's really positive, because when I was in elementary and middle school, I played this thing called Who Wants to Be a Mathinaire? And I don't know if anyone else knows that, but you go through, they give you a math question, and you basically play the same way as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So I had a goal to achieve, and that's what these type of games have to achieve as well. There has to be some goal and some type of measurable academic process or progress here. So it was very beneficial to me, even if I wasn't in a math class, because yet again, I'm still working on my math skills. So I just want to emphasize that free time isn't free time. It's structured time that if the teacher can get in, once a week even, the students are going to benefit because they're developing other skills other than reading a history textbook or taking a test. So as long as it's structured, both the teacher and the student can benefit. So we went over free read time, like the DEAR program, the class art project, which helps relieve a lot of emotional and other stresses for students, and then the educational online games and exercises. So I think these are all fantastic ways that teachers can incorporate a lot of learning that children don't even know that they're learning. So it's a really fantastic thing for teachers to do if they can afford the time to do it. And students like to socialize and discover things, and it's really important because they can find that really integral part that they're looking for all through school. And as teachers, isn't it our job to help aid them in that? So free time is a really good option.